This is lesson 16.4, and the focus is how can you use coordinate grids to show mathematical relationships? You already know how to plot points on a coordinate grid. Today you will learn how to use patterns in graphs to help you solve problems. I want you to think about this. How are the x and y axes like number lines? Please pause to think about that. You might realize that each axis shows numbers in order at equal intervals, just like a number line. Here's today's problem. Sally measured the height of her bean plant and got the following results. Please copy this table into your notebook. Sally wants to show the growth of her plant on a graph. Which variable should we place on the x-axis? You might remember from science that the x-axis is the independent variable. So what should we put on the x-axis? The day is going to go on the x-axis in this case and be the independent variable. Please set up your grid the same way. From the table we can see that we need at least 7 days. So in this case, since my grid goes up to 10, I know that gives me plenty of space. How should we label the y-axis? Since the dependent variable here is the height in centimeters, that will go on the y-axis. Since the table shows that we need at least 14 centimeters, I chose to count by 2's here to make sure I have plenty of room and again, even some extra space if I want to continue plotting. What's our graph missing still? Hopefully you've noticed that our graph is missing a title. What title should we give the graph? I'm going to use height of Sally's plant. If you have something similar, that's fine. Please pause and plot all of the points from the table. Since we're going to use the table to plot the points, it would be easy for me to think of the day as the x and the height as the y as a reminder on how to plot this properly. So for day 1, I'm going to go up to 2 centimeters for height and plot that point. Please check your point. Day 2 is 4 centimeters. Now, there is no day 3 or 4. I skip straight to day 5. Day 5 is 10 centimeters. And finally, day 7, skipping day 6, is 14 centimeters. Please check your points. Next, I'd like you to use your graph to help Sally find out how tall the plant was on day 4. Notice day 4 is not in our table. However, you can use the graph to predict the height of Sally's plant on day 4. Please pause and do that now. Hopefully you're noticing one of two things. First, the points on our grid appear to form a straight line. If that's the case, we can use that to help us find out how many centimeters Sally's plant will be on day 4. You may also notice a pattern in the table. Either one is fine, but either way, on day 4, we should conclude that her plant should be approximately 8 centimeters tall. We now have enough points, so go ahead and use a straight edge if you have one, and I'm going to do my best to draw a straight line through these points and continue it all the way through the graph. By continuing it, I can use it to help me solve even more problems. Please notice some other points that fall on the line. For example, day 3 and 6 centimeters, and day 6 and 12 centimeters. Please use the graph to tell me how tall do you think the plant will be on day 10. Please pause to find out day 10. As the graph shows us, on day 10, Sally's plant will be 20 centimeters tall. I would also like you to solve the following problem to bring to class. I want you to find out When will the plant be 30 centimeters tall? So how many days will it take for Sally's plant to be 30 centimeters tall? Now you'll notice we ran out of room on our grid. You could either draw a bigger grid, or what might be better would be to look at the table, find the pattern, or find the rule, and go ahead and find for 30 centimeters how many days that would take. This is lesson 16.4, and now you know how to use coordinate grids to show mathematical relationships.